Hey! Oh, I'll close that down because I can hear myself coming through that there. And I've got some opening theme tune music this week, guys. And look at this. Look at this up here. Look at that. Hey! Let's make sure that's there. Yeah. Look at that. And it getting posh. Getting all posh and fancy. So I thought I'd put that up there for now. So, yes. So there we go. Bang that up there. Get me notes. And then what we'll do is we'll get into it. Shall we get into it? Everybody's rolling in. Let's, you see, this is what the waffle's good for. The waffle's good for when letting people roll in. You know, let people roll in. Find a seat. Find a chair. You know, sit down. Tune up. All that business. Yes. So, here we go. So, where are we? We are on the live stream. It is now Wednesday, the 28th of May, 2025. 28th of May. January, February, March, April, May. That's how I have to count it. 5 months in. We're just 5 months in. How did that happen? There we go. But there you go. If it's your first time here, let me know in the chat and I'll give you a little shout out here. If you've never been here before and you don't know what this is my guitar lessons from the book class, essentially. I'm Ricky. I've been teaching guitar for about, just over 36 years in Huddersfield in Yorkshire, in the UK, Yorkshire. So there will be Yorkshire. Expect plenty of Yorkshire stuff, shenanigans going on in here. So I used to own my own music school, and this is stuff that I've taught for years in the book. And I should just say, I'll point it out there. I've just put it in there just at the beginning, just like instead I don't have to toggle stuff and I don't have to faff around. I've got another little PDF that I want to put on screen later on because it's going to be a doozy as this one, guys. But the thing is, yes, the book's there. Now you might be saying, well, what's the book there? That's the book. Yeah, this is the book. Yeah, and if you haven't got the book, you need to get the book. Yes. This is what I'm not a naked rock star, Shauna. Oh, crikey. You say something and it just sticks, doesn't it? It just sticks. It's there forever. So what we're doing today is we're doing lessons from the book. The book has 80 lessons in it. And basically what I like to do is I go through the book, the lessons, and I like to take the lessons, expand upon them, connect them to other lessons in the book, so then the book becomes an invaluable learning resource. Now, the whole idea about tonight's lesson, yes, the whole idea about tonight's lesson is how to blag your way into playing a song. Oh, look. Oh, be careful with that there. Ooh. We nearly had spillage there. We nearly spilt the good old Yorkshire Gold. It's not Yorkshire Gold, is it? We've run out of Yorkshire Gold at the minute. We're still on Yorkshire tea in a rather magnificent circle of thirds mug. If you look down below there in the thingy, you should be able to see them there. So it's Yorkshire tea. Let's have a look. See if it's tepid. If it's warm. Oh, it's just right as that. It's not like molten lava. That it will go cold by the end of the session. Thank you very much. So there you go. Yorkshire tea. Up, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Because you should be, because sunshine and all that stuff's here, isn't it? Now at this time of year. So there we go. So essentially, like I was saying, lesson from the book. Yeah, this is the one we're doing today. Yeah. And I could do some AC/DC thing. I could do a silly thing there with that. That's the way that one works. We're going to do that. But the thing is, if you've got the book, I see I'm so used to pressing that button there. Yeah. If you get the book, you can get it in paperback off Amazon. You can get it on Lulu as a spiral bound, or you can get it on my website. And if you get it on the website, then it's all intermingled with the Fretboard Fraternity, which is a free... Well, let's have a look. Is it doing it? Oh, hang on. I'm pressing wrong buttons here. Which is a free community that you're more than welcome to join. Yes, and if you have the book, look, you see, it's all there. We're usually like asking, we're usually asking, what lesson is it, Ricky? What page is it? You can see there. Look, it also says wallop the like. Yeah, so if you bought the online version, the ebook version, then what happened is in the learning section of the Fretboard Fraternity, you'll find all 80 of the videos that go along with the lessons in the book in there. How cool is that? It's nice and integrated. It's all integrated. It's nice and smooth, as trouble-free as possible. If you would also like to get hold of all my lessons, past and future, then you might think about joining PDF Club, which is just here. This is PDF Club. Now, PDF Club, the handouts I'm going to do for today's lesson, I've got all me blank sheets here. I'll be putting a blank one of these up in the PDF Club, and I'll also be doing the version that I've scrawled all over as well. So that'll be going up into PDF Club as well, guys. So hopefully that makes sense. So if you want to check out what PDF Club is, then you just go there, have a look at PDF Club, see if it's for you. If it is, then great. All right, okay, right. So that's the housekeeping out of the way, I suppose. We're going to look at it that way. Phil James, hey, what's this PDF Club? PDF Club. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. A lot of people, said some really nice things about it. So let's have a look. Let's crack on with this lesson. Let's do the things that we've got to do. Now, I've got to set something straight here, right? I'm going to get into the roll call, but I'm going to tell you what the lesson is as well, what we're going to get into with the lesson, what it's all about. Because the thing is, the idea behind this lesson is the power chord. These power chord tricks make learning songs easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where to blag a song. I've got an example song lined up. It's not the Eagles because they block everything. That's not good. But that's the thing. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that today. So where are we? I've got so many things up here now. It's all changed. So let's have a look. So that's what we're going to do. It is page 15, page 20 in the book. I forgot where I go now. Where do I do now? My brain's gone. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So it's all about learning songs. The microphone's running a little bit hot there. I've just tweaked everything, and it's just like, hopefully that's all okay there, guys. I know what I was going to do. I was going to put the... I'm losing my brain. I've had one sup of tea. It's right. It's tea. It's just tea. There's no whiskey being slipped in it. You've not put any alcohol in that, have you? You're not just wondering where we're going then. Right. Okay. Well, there we go. Happens to the best of us. So I'm going to put this up. This is the thing. Now, I should say, Mrs. Ricky has said, yes, that she wants me to say that it's me that puts the counter up, not her. Yeah, because she's worried. She's worried you think that it's her being mean to me. She's just like, hurry me along so we don't waffle so much. But that was my idea there, to put that there. So, and I'm the one that turns it on, turns it off. So it's nothing to do with Mrs. Ricky. So she, is that all right, Mrs. Ricky? Yes, that's better. You were potted about. She was potted about it. So there you go. Anyhow, so what we're going to do, we've done the necessary business there, and then what we're going to do now is we're going to do the roll call, guys. We're going to do the roll call. Any first timers, yes, let me know, and we'll give you a shout out, and we'll say hello in the chat. But in the meantime, guys, give this lesson a like, give it a wallop, and let's see how many people we've got in it. I've got 132 in here, guys. Come on, 50 likes. Let's get this like walloped, and we'll get the lesson started. Let's start with the roll call. And first in the chat today is Telefunken. Yes, Telefunken. Eyup, Analog Kid, Eyup. Randy Smith, I'm here, boss. Never got an email this week about the lesson. Anyway, Myrtle Beach is checking it. We just check it. We didn't send an email out this week because we thought we'll just check and see what it's like with not sending one out. Because people are in the Fretboard Fraternity. When you're in the Fretboard Fraternity, it tells you that there's a lesson on, and that's what you do. And so and YouTube should do it as well, shouldn't it? Really, it should. But I don't know if you've got a notification today, because somebody, a lot of people say that a lot of people were saying that they don't get, they've subscribed, they've hit notification bell and everything else like that, but they're not getting notifications. So I don't know what that's about. It seems to be a bit sketchy, doesn't it? So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? There we are. That's what's happened. Bill Travis, ready to learn. Greetings to all. Jerry Lindy's in the chat. JB is in the chat as well. Half FretHeads. Frank Gladden is in Bowie. MD. Where's MD? I don't know where MD is. Christopher Campagna, Ricky and everyone, greetings from Holland. John Steer in Austin. We've got Ron Panunzio. I hope I said that right. Cody Lamar. That's such a. It sounds like a kind of like 1970s soul singer. Hey, it's Cody Lamar coming through your speakers. It's a great name. Wonderful name. Graham Penfold says, David, try C major. Malcolm Dengate. Don't know what's going on there. Malcolm Dengate. Eyup from Sussex. David Doty. Does anyone have any key for some handcuffs? Okay, it's shenanigans going on the other side of the country there. Hopefully, nowhere near me. If there's handcuffs, I don't want any handcuffs near me. Scuba Trooper Eyup, Chris Houston is here and signing on with multiple devices. Billy Joe here. We've got Winston Moy in North Dallas. Stefan Weber in Germany. Relaxing meditation. Hey, Ricky and everyone watching. Looking forward to another great lesson tonight, mate. Keep up your great inspiration work, as always appreciated. Thank you very much. The kind words are always appreciated as well. Hey up, hello. That's Bob P in Alexandria, Virginia. I hope we are well, actually. Graham Penfold says, any chance of a lesson on improvising as in the pentatonics? Do you know, Graham? I thought about that. It's a big one, you know. It really is a big one, and I've covered a fair old few lessons on the YouTube. And if Graham, I'm not mistaken, you're in PDF Club. If you do a search in there, that would be a good place to start. But I know I've talked about it in lives. But saying that, this is one of those things that I keep threatening. I keep threatening to do, sort of like a masterclass like that takes a day or something like that. I don't know, but we've got to think it out really and see what you guys want. You know, what do you guys want me to produce here on YouTube and for future books and all that sort of stuff? What do you want? Just tell me and I'll sort it out. Stuart Smith, hi all. Phil James is in the chat. Dark Gent reporting for duty. Onno van Leersum in Holland. Dem Ravens. Well, this is an early start. It was. Yes, I had all my thumbnails and everything else sorted early doors. Thunder Ace, do it on the right side. My OG there. Carter Hutchinson. Hi Ricky, from a rainy day in the cornfields of Indiana. Still sounds glamorous. Cornfields of Indiana sounds lush. My favourite day has arrived. Thank you very much. Carl Domjan. Now then, Ricky, greetings to one and all from the Basque Country. Looking forward to another wonderful Wednesday evening. Thank you. Chuck Birdsong. On vacances, in Myrtle Beach, SC, but can't miss Ricky. Well, I applaud your sterling work to make the effort to be here tonight. Six String Greg is in the chat as well in Arkansas. We've got YouTube Music Portal, Grom Molotok. I don't know if that sounds like Klingon or something, does that? I don't know what it is, but we'll go with it. Kelly's Mishmash. Hi, Kelly. Right, so the internet has been lousy all morning. Constant buffering. Oh, it's horrible when that happens. Vicky DeMeo is in the chat. Saga Kushwaha. Hey, I am from India. You are my best YouTube guitar teacher. Oh, thank you very much. Back at you. Love that heart. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. Ralph King Smith. Ricky, I got your book from Amazon and it looked like a mouse nibbled on the first 10 pages, but all I say is I love your book. Look, if you do you know something? On my Amazon, I've got 2 negative reviews because of the state the book arrived in. Because they're print on demand, yeah, when that happens, yeah, if Amazon does that, you just send it back and they'll send you a fresh one, a good one. I understand you're chomping at the bit to get to the material inside, but, you know, if you just do that, I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes, you know, nothing is guaranteed, is it really, to get through the postal service or whatever these days. in perfect condition. You sometimes wonder that, don't you? You think, oh, crikey, is it going to come all right? I got some varnish for a table, and I thought, I hope it don't break open in the van on the way, otherwise I won't be using any of that. I'll miss out on doing my jobs. Anyhow, so there you go. So that's what I say, is just send it back. But some people are just like, oh, it came ripped or whatever. It might have been the postman, like angry at guitars. Some people are angry at guitars. Let's have a look. Richard Grissom, Eyup from Jensen Beach, Florida. There we go. Mike Allen, lovely to see you. Always looking so marvellous. You put a smile on everyone's face. I've done my hair for you today as well, just a little bit. Tidied it up. I was looking like Wurzel Gummidge a bit earlier on. I don't know if... look up Wurzel Gummidge. It was nightmare fuel when I was a kid. So that was one of those things. Yeah, that's what my hair. That's what I was looking like. So I've tidied it up a little bit today. Thank you though, Mike. I appreciate that. BC1 in the chat. We like that. David Boy here without his axe. Do have some pen and paper. We'll just be watching today. That's fine. Take it in. Take it all in. Angus McDonald is in the chat as well. Evening there, Angus. Tom Jablonowski in Ohio. Mo Canna. Chef Mo from New York. Chef. Good evening, Chef. Araman Thet-T48, Eyup from Rainy Burn. Yeah, and it's Sean in the in the chat. Yeah, the class clown is here. I was the class clown as well. Rocket67, Eyup FretHeads. This is Ricky, let's waffle. Mark Carter. Hello, Mark Carter, Mountain Brook, Alabama. We love it. Anik, my guitar is in the lock. Who's there to unlock it? It's Ricky. Oh my days. There's so much things are unlocking today in YouTube titles. It's crazy. Stevie Pinhead, Eyup you lot from sunny Seattle. What we do for time? 6 minutes. We're all right. We might get there. We're scrolling. We're scrolling a lot here. John Carver's in the chat. Elizabeth Azud is in the chat. Week 2. Well done for coming back. Thank you for coming back. Appreciate you showing up. Greg Howard, Eyup. Let's have a look. Michael Davies, good evening, Ricky and Mrs. Ricky. Keep up the good work. Thank you. We will do. Michael Gregg from Missouri. True Sean Armour, hey all, is in the chat. Sean. We have Clifford in the chat from sunny Teesside. And all the Fretted gang. Yes, welcome. Almonds. Hey up, Mr. and Mrs. Ricky from Arizona. Who else have we got in the chat? Hey, Randy. We haven't seen you for a while, Randy. Or did you come last week? I'm not sure if you were here last week, but here you are. Cody Lamar says it feels like I'm at a concert. I don't know about that. I hope it is. I hope it feels as good as a concert. Tim C is in the chat. Gumby Scores is in the chat. Ryan YT is in the chat. Papa Doc is in the building. Is in the chat and also in the building as well. There we go. Binary Surf is in Cancun, Mexico. Oh, Cancun. I quite fancy that. When I look at it, when you're looking for holidays, vacations, you're looking for holidays, you're just like, oh, Cancun looks nice. We thought about it. We nearly went, actually. Didn't we, Mrs. Ricky? Yeah, it was that year when there was that, but it was a year when there was like a great big algae breakout and everything just went green, and we thought, all right, might not be a good idea. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. Let's see. Cody, yes, Ricky is a naked rock star and we're throwing money. TPK. DKP, get it right, Sean. If you're going to rib me, get it right. It's DKP for Dr. Kemi Popper. That's the breakdancing guy. Yeah, so Alan Mackey, boy howdy from East Tennessee. Let's do this. Cody's first time. Is it Cody's first time today? Does that count? Oh, hang on. Add to broadcast. There we go. It's my first time today. Yes, if it's your first time, you get a round of applause. Thank you for turning up, Cody. That's the one. It's all about. We appreciate the effort. In a plethora of other things you could be doing, coming and watching some guitar stuff on YouTube. I appreciate you turning up. So Rob K is ready for class. Who is this? Phil James. Don't try it. Don't try it on. Blueface. We know what you're up to. Major Pentatonic, Eyup. Who else is in the chat? I'm scrolling a bit faster, trying to get to the end of here. Robert Kennedy, present. It's flooding down in Texas. Oh, there's a song in that. Randy Smith, putting the page lesson up top is a good idea. Is that a good idea? Yeah, hopefully it is. Aye, Srenang Fawaka, let the blues begin. Yeah, there we go. John Essam, Bayek, beautiful evening on the Lincolnshire Wash. Rock on, everyone. Who else is in here? Cool Adventures, first time. Oh, you get a round of applause. Cool Adventures, welcome. Thank you very much for rocking up. We appreciate you being here. Jeremiah Miraz, hi, I'm here to find out what the fingers are supposed to do with the metal wires. I like what you think. That's it. Fingers, metal wires, wood. You know, plank of wood and some wires. Let's do that. So let's have... Randy Smith says, okay, guys, cancel the stoning for Mrs. Ricky. You all right with that? Yeah, she's laughing. You can't hear her, but she is. She's laughing. Trust me. You know. So here we go. You got a notification. Oh, Michael says you got a notification from YouTube. This is why I launched the live thing a little bit earlier, just to see if it made any difference. And I don't know if it will do. Hexbyte. First time on, Ricky. Hey, there you go. You get a big round of applause and a thumbs up. Thank you very much for coming along today. Now we're saying, do you know what we were looking at the other day? We were watching Calamity Jane. Was it Rattlesnake Roy? Is Rattlesnake Roy in Calamity Jane there, Roy? Is that what it is? Am I right in thinking that? Is that the reference? We want to know. We thought about... Oh, Maryland. All right, Frank Gladden. Thank you very much. And Sean got a notification today, but hadn't had one since August of last year. That's odd, isn't it? That's really odd. Oh, we've got Bill's bub. Greetings from Sweden. Okay, well, there you go. You're here, Beelzebub. Me, myself, and I. Some really unique name. Good evening from Germany. Phil Swan. Hey up, Phil. I haven't seen you for a while, I don't think. But there we go. Phil Swan is in the chat as well there, guys. Fellow PDF clubbers. Let's have a look. Three Dogs Brewery. Doing God's work there, making lovely beer. Ingo Knoll, Eyup from Switzerland, my 10 points go to. It's like almost like the Eurovision Song Contest, isn't it? I think that's a right old waste of time, is that? It is a right rigmarole, is that, isn't it? Maria is in the chat as well. All right, so Vicky got an event notification. Mrs. Ricky's reading all these and she's logging it all down, and we'll probably have a chat about it after. Mary, yup, from Colorado, USA. Eyup, I think, is that what you? I think that's what you're doing. Yup. I don't know if it was an affirmative meaning there. Randy Holder, diminished chords and scales. Ugh. Yes, we need to do one of those as well, don't we, Randy? John Jenkins, beautiful evening from beautiful Channel Island of Jersey. Oh, sounds nice in Jersey. We were looking at some holiday places there to have a go and have a nosy. Let's have a look. We were looking down here. Simon Wade, greetings from Planet Thanet, Kent. And the time has run out. Where's it like a cup of tea and a slice of cake? Well, Miss Ricky has made a cake today. That's what I've just had. So we've had this. Mo says, does my book do a deep dive into the blues? No, it does. It isn't specialising in blues, but it's got lots of stuff in there to get you started and give you the essentials so that you know what you're doing. But I will say, what I tend to do, Mo, is I like to take the lessons from the book, like I say, and expand upon them. So if I'll take one of those concepts in the book, like it might be what scales to solo in a dominant blues, or what scales to do in a minor blues, or you know what you should be using with what, and where it lives on the fretboard, of course. Then it kind of covers that sort of stuff. I really like this idea of if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for the day. But if you show a man how to fish, then you catch as many fish as you want. And that's the way I always formulate my teaching. So why I don't really teach songs on YouTube, because I think if I show you how songs work or how they're composed, so that you can pull them to bits and then put them back together again, then that makes a bit more sense, because it's not just one song you can do it with. You can do it with more songs, and that's essentially what I'm going to do today. Is I'm going to do a song today, and I'm going to show you how to play it the easy way. So really, that's what it is. But blues is my thing. So I do a lot of bluesy stuff. So it's still worth a follow and a subscribe and all that. So there you go. Parker Fly Rook, Eyup. We have Noel Rodriguez in the chat. We also have, who else do we have? I'm scrolling now. Sandy B's in the chat. Hal was right. To all the non-northerners, it's spelled Eyup. Well, I spell it E. A up, because E and A, yeah, to all the non-northerners it's spelled. Yeah. Well, I go with the E, so that's it. That's the way I do it. So Tracy Lords reference, old school. I don't know who Tracy Lords is. So Mike here from Tucson, Arizona. Yes, welcome. Davis Rogers. We've also got Mary. You're my lunchtime, Ricky. Thank you very much. And we have Vidit Sahai. Hey, Ricky, I've been playing chords on acoustic guitars for years, trying to learn notes because I want to play riffs and solos. Do have an electric. Any tips? I've got a whole playlist on the channel about learning the notes on the fretboard. Yeah, so there's a whole playlist on that. I'd check that out. And love back to you in India as well. Let's see where we are. Yeah, hello, bro. Hello to you as well. Who else have we got in the chat that is here that I haven't already said hello to? Maxi Rater, you should make a part 2 of the book that gives simple chord progressions to make. Well, do you know something? These are all wonderful ideas. I do have a course on chords that is nearly finished. Sadie376, if you build a man on fire, he'll be warm for a night. If you set a man on fire, he'll be warm for the rest of his life. I like that one. I want your book, but it's not available in India. If you get the ebook version, then it's available anywhere, and all the videos are in the Fretboard Fraternity. So we have ways to combat these troublesome global issues. Phantom, I knew I would be in time and come on during the waffle. Well, yeah, this is the thing. The waffle is part of the process these days, isn't it? Is it not? Nancy Parsons, hello, Nancy. Great to see you. I haven't seen you for a while, and I think we're just about there. We are there, guys. We are there with roll call, and I'm just, you know what I mean. I know the timer ran out, but the thing is, we're going to get started now. We're going to get started with this lesson, and I'm going to take that ticker off the top there because that's a little bit distracting. And what we'll also do is we'll get rid of that there, and then we've got full Vizog. Okay. Went through all the playlists with that. Yeah, there is one. It's a fretboard one. Right. So, like I say, guys, if you have the book, then what we'll do is we're going to take this. Now, we're looking at cage power chords. What I'm going to do, I'm going to break down power chords. I'm going to break down the cage chords. And then I'll show you how I get to the power chords and why they are called power chords. Yes, you'll hear it. You will feel it. Yes, the righteousness of a good, strong power chord. And what I'm also going to do, though, cage power chords are essentially, they come from open cowboy chords. Yeah, right now. But the thing is, it's not the only place to play power chords. We can also get into fretted power chords. And so I'm just kind of outlining what we're going to get over today, right? So what we do is we're going to learn the caged. We're going to learn the cage power chords. Then we're going to learn the fretted power chords. We're going to learn 2 shapes. We're going to learn 2 shapes based on the E and the A shape. And then what we're going to do is we're going to apply them to the L7 grid, which we can think of as being the major key, and then we're going to apply them on the 7/7 grid, which we can think of as a minor key. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate how you would do this, use power chords instead of full chords to play the song. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, it's all about serving the song. It's always about creating music, guys, and that's the thing. I mean, look what the name of the video today. It's like it's bang on in line with the title. Yeah, these power chord tricks made songs way easier, and this is the thing you can do if you know this. There is a kind of like a prerequisite that you understand a little bit about key. Yeah. Now, there's so many people on this chat now that I know have been to a ton of my lessons. They know we've talked about the L7 grid and the 7/7 grid in so many different ways of doing it, as blues chords, jazz chords, bar chords. We've used it as a template for chord tone soloing, for fancy suspension scales, and all sorts of different things like that. So the thing is, it's yet another application of the L7 grid, which is actually, I should have pulled that up, guys, because you know something, that's in the book. Oh, hang on, it's the page before. So the thing is, the L7 grid is there. It's page 19, lesson 14. So it's just the page before there. So really, it's tying something that could be, you could think of it as being a kind of a technically difficult thing to think, but what it is about trying to make it as easy as possible. Yeah, if we can play simple chords around a simple pattern, yes, that we look at we figure out the chords in a song, then it means that we can play the song, and then that's job done, isn't it? Really, because that's what it's all about, guys. That's what it's all about. So the thing is, what I'm going to do though is I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to get the old pen and paper out. We like the pen and paper. I'm going to start from scratch, and I'm going to show you how these chords come about, okay? How the caged power chords come about, and it'll make sense then from then on what power chords are, okay? Okay, so right, let me scoot over to the old pen and paper here. Right, so what we've got is, if you didn't know, there's 5 chord boxes here, and the 5 chord boxes are the caged, and I call them master chords, okay? Because every chord you play, any chord you play, has its origin in one of these 5 shapes, or as Joe Pass used to call them, forms, okay? Forms. That's what this is what we're looking at here, okay? So we're gonna look at these caged master chords here. So let me break this down. Caged, the word caged stands for the shapes that we're going to play. So we're going to play a C shape, an A shape, a G shape, an E shape, and a D shape. Now, the thing is, these are all major chords. Major is the master tonality, because major's the predominant sound that we base all Western music on. Yes, all Western diatonic music. So these are all major chords. Now, what's going to happen with the power chords is, as we get through into this, you're going to notice that we end up losing this majorness. But the thing that makes a chord major is we have 3 ingredients. We have a root note, we have a third, and we have a fifth. But we need to know what the function for each of these notes are. The root note is the home note. Yes, that's the note that gives the chord its name. All right, so that's the way we're thinking about it there, guys. So the root note gives a chord its name. So when I play this C chord here, this string here is the telltale. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that finger there. Yeah, this is me. I'm putting the circles on here where my fingers go. Okay, so this is where my fingers go. So this would be finger 3 on the, let's me put some numbers there, and that would be on the A string, guys, and it's on the 3rd fret. And if you think about it, this is the A string, it goes A, B, and that would be C. So that's the root note of this chord. So that note is telling me what the name of the chord is there. It's like its Christian name, yes? That's what it is. And I kind of think, and the thing is, I kind of think that major chords are so important. You know, they're like iconic pop stars, you know, Elvis, yeah, Madonna, you know, Bono. or sting. all these, you know, those are kind of like the top, the elite rock and pop stars and stuff. They generally, if you've got a one name for your celebrity, then, you know, it's kind of that tells you, you know, how important they are. So really, I kind of think of majors as being, they're a big deal. And this is the thing, the major is a big majorness. Yes, a high-ranking plesiosaur. I like that. So what we're going to do is we've got that root there, okay, and we also get another root as well on this, because this is the B string here, and if we think about it, B and C are neighbours. If you know my little mnemonic, bacon crispy, then that would be a C. So we'd get another root note there, guys. Look, root and a root. We've got a caged octave. We talked about these last week, didn't we? We talked about caged octaves, and so that's showing it there. Now, what we also need is we need the third going up from there. So if I was to look at my notes that I need for this C chord, and I go C, D, E. That's my third note up. You can count your triads on your fingers: C, D, E, F, G. So you can do that. Now you've got to remember to put your sharps and flats in if they're in a different key. Yeah. So C, D, E. So I know that E is going to be my third note. Okay. And what the third does is it gives you the emotion, and it's the colour of the chord, right? That colours the chord. And if we think about it, I just said that the root third and fifth was C, E, and I've not put the fifth in there, but I'll just put it at the side there. C, E, G, okay? So what I've got is I've got an E now, and I'm going to put that into my chord grip. Now, ordinarily, we don't put the thick E string in. I know it's the third of the chord, but what ends up happening is from that E to that root note there, that creates a minor sixth, and it sounds pretty awful against the rest of the chord. So it does clang and clash a little bit, unless you've got some sort of moving bass line, okay? So the thing is, we want this E here. So this is a D string, okay? And let me just put the string names underneath there. E, A, D, G, B, E. Type in the chat how you remember your string names. E, A, D, G, B, E. Put that there. So I know this is a D string. I'm going to go D. I'm going to go to an E that's just there. So that is going to be my third. But if I know this shape, yeah, I know that I get this open E string here, which is going to be my third. So with this shape, I've got 2/3 there. And then what I've got here is I've got my fifth here, which is my which is a G here. I'm going to use this open string, which is there like that. And that is the C chord there. Now, wonderful to notice about this, guys. Wonderful to notice. But if you look at how this is all plotted out, we've got repeating notes. We've got 2 root notes, and we've got 2/3 and 1/5. So we don't just get these root thirds and fifths once. Yes, we get them more than once there, don't we? We double up on some of those there. So we've got 2 roots, 2/3 and 1/5. Wonderful. And that is the way that we're going to work out that C major chord. Let's do the same thing here with the A chord. Now, I'll just write the names of the notes here that we get for this. We get an A, a C sharp, and an E for an A chord. And the thing to notice with the A chord is the root note is going to be on the A string. Because remember, we've got these open strings here, E, A, D, G, B, E. All right? This allows you to do this intelligently and understand power chords. If you do this tricky bit at the beginning, yeah, then you'll see that the ingredients that make up the main chords, then it's like once I start taking things away, it makes sense. So we've got the A chord there, we've got the C chord there. Right, 1, 2, 3. Right, so we've got the root note there, wonderful, but we're not going to play an E string there, even though we could effectively, because the E is a fifth. What that would do is that would sound a fourth. And a perfect fourth going from there to there, it's muddy and it dulls the chord. It makes the chord sound a bit dull. But if you know something that I harp on about all the time, I talk about the E, A, and D shape, how they have a common pattern that goes through them. And the common pattern we get through these is the fifth, right? And I should explain what the fifth does. The function of the fifth, yeah? The functions of those notes. The fifth is transparent, guys. The fifth is transparent. It's no colour. There's no colour to it. Okay? What it does is it provides stability. That's what it does. It provides stability to the root note, really. So we could already see that you've probably seen a lot of this stuff that there we've already got the beginnings of what looks like a power chord. Okay, but the thing with the A shape is it goes 5R3. Let me just put those in there. Remember this pattern, guys, because it goes fifth, root, third. That's super useful to know. And you can see if there are any repeating notes already, and then on this open E string here we get a fifth. Okay, right, so you can see there, that's just expediting that there. You can see that's what's going on there, guys. There's the shape, but you can see we've got 2 root notes and 2 fifths, but we have 1/3 in that. And the C and the A shape, those guys, yeah, those shapes there, they run on 5 strings. Right, they're 5-string chord shapes. Yes, okay. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the G chord. I'm going to play it. I'm going to write it out in the sort of what I call the Bob Dylan grip. The notes for a G chord are G, B, D. You all right? Now, G's the root, B's the third, D is the fifth. So let's put this in here. We're going to look at the strings one at a time. So this is a G. So if we go E, F, we can see a G's here. That's going to be a root note. Quick little tip, guys. Whatever happens here, right, is going to happen the same here on the other E string, because E strings basically mirror each other. E, A, D, G, B, E. That's so you know that it's an E string there. Okay? Now, if I go here and I go A, B, then that's where my third is going to live, in this one here. So we've got the root and we've got the third there. Now look, we've got the D here, and that's going to be the fifth. So you can see we get this lovely little line of them there. They go root, third, fifth. And I've said this before to you in previous lessons, guys. Look at the way that the C chord stacks up. Hang on, can I get a little piece of paper and make this a little bit more obvious? Look at the way that the C chord stacks up on its first 3 strings. Root, third, fifth. You won't forget this. Okay? So root, third, fifth. And look at the way the G chord does it. Root, third, fifth. It's the same. It's the same pattern. It's just moves. It's on a different string set. Okay? So we've got that there. Jeremiah says, why is A not a 6-string chord? Because this E here, if we played that E, that would be another fifth, and we wouldn't really be starting on the root note. It would be an inversion. But to start off with an inversion going from the root, it's going from the fifth to the root, it sounds muddy. It sounds like a perfect fourth, yeah, which doesn't sound great. It doesn't add anything to the chord. And remember, we want a nice clear sound when we play chords. We want them to say what we want them to say. So really, it needs to start with the root note there. So you'll notice this. Look, okay, just for Jeremiah, I'll outline those again. So you can see there, the lowest sounding note is the root note in these shapes here. These are not inversions, yes? So these are just root position chords. So on this one, look, you see here on the G chord there, we get the root, third, fifth. Now we're going to go across here. We're going to get another root just here, and like I say, I'm going to do the Dylan G, and we've got a B. So B is going to be a third. I'm going to put the third there. Notice this, guys. I just want to show you. How this is why these chords all link up to each other. Yeah, this is why these chords all link up to each other. Look at that 5R3 and that 5R3. You see how they join up? They're linked to each other in how the chords all hook up. Yeah. So anyhow, that's an aside. I don't want to get into that because that's something completely different. But the thing is, you can see that we've got these thirds in here. Okay. On this E chord, what happens is we get an E, a G sharp, and a B for the E chord. Let's go with that because it's an E chord. What we're going to do conveniently, very conveniently, is we're going to start on the E string. E, A, D, G, B, E there. So I'm going to play this note here, and there's my root note. Yeah? You can see that there, root note is just there. And then what's going to happen is it's going to do the same thing as the A shape. It's going to go 5 root third, yeah, 5R3. So 5th, root, third. Can you see how that shape forms there, guys? Yeah, so that's an E, that's a B, that's an E, that's a G sharp, which is the third. Then what we can see is we get an open B string, which is going to be the 5th. And then we get an open E string, because whatever happens on that E string is going to happen on the thin E string, because they mirror each other. And you can see that we get that shape there. Okay, so that's how that's going to work there. Right, let's move on to the next chord, which is going to be the D chord. Now the D chord, we don't play the E and the A string at all. Oasis G shape, perfectly legitimate. Yes, it is. It is either or other. Either or other. It's whichever one you want. So the notes that we need for a D major chord are a D, an F sharp, and an A. So the D is going to be the root, and that's going to give us this open D string, right? So while I'm at it, look at these cage chords here, guys. Right, the C and the G shape, yeah, that have a completely different pattern that are pointed out to you, that go root third, fifth, root third, fifth. Those, they don't have a string, an open string. Whereas if you look at the A chord, it's on the A string. Look at the E chord, it's on the E string. Look at the D chord, it's on the D string. So the shapes, 3 of the shapes relate to the string. Look at that. Can you see how that works? Interesting to know as well. I can't join those 2 with a bracket there, but this is a 6 string shape. Right, okay, so the G shape is a 6 string shape, and the E shape is a 6 string shape. And this is interesting because for me, the D chord, you can see that what we end up left with when we get rid of the E and the A string, we end up with a 4 string shape. Right, so we get a 4 string shape there. So we've got a D there. Okay, so this note here, this is on the G string. We go up a step. It's going to give us an A, which is the 5th. But if you know already, you know we get 5th, root, third. 5th, root, third. Okay, and there's the shape for it, guys. Look. So we get the 5th, root, third there. We get the 5R3 here. Right? Now, the reason we want to know where the third is because what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of it. We're going to take it out. Because what we want to do is we want to get rid of that colour. We want the home note and we want the transparent 5th to work with each other. Yeah, and that way they're non-committal. They're non-committal shapes. So what I'll do is I'll put this up on here as well. So look, root, third, 5th. Root, third, 5th. Okay, so you can see that the difference between these shapes. So there's let's have a look. Let me just look at the little comments here and just make sure that everybody's hunky dory. So the thicky isn't played. Now, why no 5th on the B string for the G shape? Yeah, we can do. We could double up on the 5th, and the reason we might want to do that is because there's a thing that happens in harmony. That when you have doubled thirds, it makes the especially on guitar, yeah, because the thing is, the guitar is not a tempered instrument. You know, we have to tune things, and it's never exactly in tune. Okay, so these 2 thirds will be slightly out of tune with each other, and those 2 notes will rub. Okay, and the same will happen in this shape. And you could alternatively put another 5th in there, and by putting a 5th in, which is transparent, you remove that rub because you've only got 1/3. Okay, so if you've got 1/3, it makes it easier. Just like on this C shape here, guys. It's a bit of a tangent, but what we can do is we can remove that rub on this doubled third business here by putting another 5th in there if we want to. So if you hold your C chord and you put your pinky on that 3rd fret of the thin E string, yeah, you'll hear you get a really bright sound in C. It won't sound as dull. Yeah, I think when you get rid of one of the thirds, then it brightens up the sound of the chord, just makes it a bit more robust. And because the 5th it gives stability, that's what it does. It gives you a more stable sound. Okay, but you'll notice But you'll notice that the A, the E, and the D shapes, they only have 1/3. Okay, they only have 1/3. And what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of those thirds now, guys. So we all right? Are we okay? Too long to explain in a comment, just my bad. Where are we at? Are we all good? Are we all good? Sadie's off way to folk club. Have a good time. Right. Okay. Okay. So right. We're all right. Oh, my chord boxes are upside down. That's no good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these shapes now, and we're gonna whittle them down. Like I say, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of the third, because we don't want the emotion. Hang on, let me pull this in focus there. So we don't want the emotion. We want this very ambiguous foundation sound, yes, really. Because the beautiful thing about power chords is we can play major and minor tonalities on them, as long as they're in the correct order. Now, I will say with this C shape, okay, I will say with this C shape that what we can do is we can move things around a little bit with this. And personally, yeah, what I like to do, when I'm getting rid of the third on this one, I'm just going to write this out. We could play the fifth here. I'm going to put the fifth in here. This is what a power chord is. Let's just do these as caged power chords. And I'll write this here. Caged power chords. And the ingredients that we have. Remember, before we had 3 ingredients for these major chords. Now for power chords, we have 2 ingredients. We have a root and a fifth. Yeah, that's all we're using. That's all we're doing. So what we do is we look at the shape and we think, okay, well, how can we utilize this shape? The way I do this here, and I've got to get rid of this third here. So what I do is I substitute it for that fifth there. Now I can keep the root in here. Personally, and you'll hear it when I play it for you, yeah, is I like to add this note here, which isn't strictly I know I've said root and fifth, but isn't strictly. So we're just going to put an artistic license thing there, right? We'll just say that artistic license. Right, so we'll put then a little asterisk on the C chord here. Now you could, I'll put that underneath there as well. We could take that caged octave. Yeah, we're going to take that caged octave, and then we could play it like that. And then if we think about it, we've got another fifth here. Okay, but what we do is we end up muting the D string there. And I'll show you how this works, guys. I'll show you how your hands work around this. But what I like to do, and it still works, and it still sounds great. Yeah, so root fifths are power chords. Yes, Vidit. Yes, they are. And then what I like to do is I like to put this 2 in here instead. Yeah, I'll put it in brackets so we're not committing to it, right? So what we get then is we get a kind of a C sus2. Yeah, so if we have that, I'll just put that there, C sus2. We get C sus2. Suspensions are very ambiguous as well, so that's why they're cool to mix with power chords. But I like to play that there. I won't do that with any of the others, right? I'll keep it very, very simple for that. But what we're going to do as well is we're going to do this here. So apart from that there, this would be a C5 power chord if you omitted that note there. This is a bit of a weird kind of a way around it, I find, because that's your index finger, that's your pinky, and that's going to be a root note with your ring finger. So it's a bit of a stretch. And in fact, you can see that the shape of the power chord is just there in those 2 strings there, right? But that's going to sound weak and puny, and we don't want weak and puny power chords. We want magnificent, epic, Viking storm in a castle like power chords. So we're going to get an A5 next, okay? So this is a little bit easier because we've only got 1/3 to remove, okay? So what we'll do is we'll get rid of the E. We're going to have this root note open here. We're going to have the fifth here. Now we can stop here, and let me just explain this. We can stop here with this. That's still a power chord, but we want to maximize the shape to get as much sound out of it as we possibly can if we want to, okay? So we can utilize this root note here as well. We'll play that with one finger going across there. And then what we do is we kill those two strings there. We don't play those two strings, okay? So this is the way we could play it. We could play it like that, or we could play it like that with one finger. If we add that third, we're committing to major tonality. Whereas with that third missing there now, you can hopefully see, okay, you can hopefully see that that means we have got everything we need. Now, I'm going to go from this G shape here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean on that Oasis G again. Yeah, where we're going to actually adopt that fifth there, that root there. We're going to take that root over here, and we're going to get a G5 power chord. To get rid of the third, what I do is I mute out the A string. I can mute out the A string there, and then that gives me a fifth here, and then I get another root here on the G string. Now what's cool about this is you can see I've got a root and a fifth, so that's one power chord. I get a root and a fifth, that's another power chord, and then I get another root. So this is going to be sounding like, this is a huge, massive sounding power chord is this one, guys. So that's what we want on that one. Let me just put those numbers there. Next one we're going to do is we're going to get this, we're going to use this E shape. Now, the beautiful thing about, look at the first part of the where have I got? I've got another colour. No, well, I'll just do it this. Look at this. So if you look at the A shape here, guys, root, and I kind of think of it, it goes up like how a knight moves in chess. It goes up 2 over 1, yeah, to get to your shape. You'll notice that the A, E, and the D shapes do this, guys. So go up 2 over 1, and that's where your 5R3 starts. Up 2 over 1, that's where 5R3 starts. On this D shape, up 2 over 1, that's where your 5R3 starts. So it's always going to have that same thing going on there. So let me just do that here as an E5. I love the E5. It's a big, massive sounding power chord. So we've got a root note here. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to play these chords as well, guys, so don't worry about that. And then we've got the fifth here. So look, just to show you, that's how I think of it as, does it make sense when I say how the knight in chess moves? Yeah, it goes up 2 over 1. If that makes sense, up 2 over, you know, on a chessboard, knight can go up 2 and over 1. If you play chess, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you'll be like, Ricky, what you on about, mate? There might be something in that T after all. So look, root fifth. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that root there, and we're going to omit that string. We're going to mute that G string out there, guys. Now we can play that like that, but I'm going to show you another way to actually do that as well. So, but I'll put it in brackets here. We could include this fifth here, and we could include this root here, and I'll play that for you, and you can hear the difference texturally to see what's going on there. Okay, right? Okay, so like we are doing here, I'm firing through these guys because I want to make sure that we get into playing this. There's a lot to go through today. There's a lot of value in today's lesson that I want you to really, really grasp. Let me just finish that up there, because sometimes I look at my videos when I'm editing and I think, oh, I didn't put an X there, or I didn't do that. So here we go. We're gonna, on the D5, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have that root note. We're going to have the fifth and the root. We're not going to play the third. We're going to omit that thin E string. So we've got a root, we've got a fifth, we've got a root there. And I'm going to knock off that E string there. That's the simplest way to look at it. And this, isn't that the horse in chess? Yes, the knight. The horse is the knight, yeah. So we've got that there now, guys. So we're essentially, and I'll play these side by side so you can hear them. Might have to switch sounds for the clean aspect of the other one. Horse and knight, same piece, yeah. So, right, I'm losing everything now. Let's put that on 1. That's a clean sound. So look, just to show you, we've got C major. Okay. That's the C major sound. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in on that. So there's the C major chord. Now what I'm going to do is I've got a choice if I want to, and this is what I was on about. If I put my pinky on there, you can hear that it irons out. That chord just sounds brighter all of a sudden. But if I go like this, can you hear that last E? It doesn't quite rhyme against that open E. That E there doesn't rhyme against that open E there. So we can just round it off there, right? Now, if I wanted to play this as a power chord, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute out the D string with the pad of my third finger there, okay? So you can see it's rocking over, just falling over a little bit, and then what that does is it mutes out that string. Now that is strictly, that's a power chord. It works better with a little bit of filth. Let me put some filth on. Right, so I'll put some filth on. Okay. So back to his clean sound. So you can hear there, it's C. Okay, right. But this is what I'm saying to you is that I like to do, this is artistic license, I like to keep this on here because, you know that G5 power chord I was on about? That's what that looks like. And if I put that second finger down there, I get this. Okay? So we get some really nice movement here. Minimal movement, which is super useful. Okay? So, C, C5, but C sus2. Equally as nice, and it will do the job, especially if I switch it over to this sound here. Yeah? So that's a nice way to do that. Then what we end up getting into then is we get into the other shapes as well. So we've got the C shape out of the way. One we need now is the A shape. And look at that A. How I'm playing that there, guys. I'm using one finger. You can play it using two fingers, but it's a bit folly because what we want to do is we want to be able to use these fingers to do it. Want to be able to use them to play other things as well. This finger, we can use that down in other positions up the neck as well. Yeah, so that's the A shape. But what I'm doing there is the B and the E strings. You don't hear guitar. You're not hearing guitar. Let's have a look. Why are you not hearing guitar? Let's make sure that we've got guitar in here. Is it? It should be okay now. Is that better? Okay, well, let's just make sure that that's coming through. It's fine, okay. Volume on guitar. Right, the dirty sound is weak. Okay. But low. Okay, so as long as you can hear it, never lost sound. All right, okay, right. Well, we've got it going anyhow. So look, let's carry on, guys. So what we've got is we've got an open A string. We're playing the D string and the G string, and I'm just holding down two notes with that finger there, which is nice. Yeah, that's what that one is. Okay. So we've got that there for our A chord. So far we've got, this is, like I say, these are the ones I like to use. That one there. That's my, sorry. That's my C. That's my A. So I'm going to go for my G now. And my G, look, I put these two fingers on here. Right, and then I put my middle finger over there. Now what I'm doing is I'm muting out my A string here. I'm muting it out. Because that ordinarily is where the third would live. But I'm killing that third off. And like I was saying... Yeah. Yeah, so we've got those shapes there. So there's the A shape, G shape. Next shape we've got is the E shape. Now we can play it exactly the same as how we played the A shape. Yeah, on 3 strings there. But what I can also do is I can do the same thing with the E shape. So instead of thinking like that, you might think to yourself, oh, it's kind of like an E minor shape. And you can play it like that as well. But if you just play these 3 here. Yeah. It's a while since I played that one. Yeah, so... that's the top 3 strings. Now, if you want, what you can do is you take your E minor shape, and I love this one. This is my personal favourite, E power chord. What we could do is we could take those 2 fingers and roll them over and mute out the G string. Remember, because that G string is the third. That's where the third lives. And we had the 5th and the root available to us on the other 2 strings. If we want a big ringy E5 power chord, we can get that there. So what I'm doing is I'm strumming through all 6 strings. So all 6 strings, big ringy chord. Very compact and chunky chord is this one here. Now we're going to come back to the E and the A shapes. So what we can do is we can see those there. And that will give you that kind of thrash metal-y sound there, or it's hard rock. So we'll put that together. So there's the E sound. That's the E5 power chord. There's only one left now, and that's going to be the D chord. And the way I kind of approach the D5 power chord here is this. Instead of it's closer shape-wise in your hand to a D minor shape than it is to a D major shape. So if you play a D major shape, you're going to find this maybe a little bit harder. Now some shapes you're going to find it easier to work across, but if we take this here, okay, but this is easier. Yeah? So that's just showing you the use cases that you get out of the cool thing about this one that I really like about when we move from this D, which is because we've got this anchor point, this anchor finger here. Notice that finger stays exactly where it is, and I can move over to the C shape, which is why I like the C sus2 here, to this G. There, okay, so that's a D, C, G. Yeah, so you start to hear all sorts of different songs coming in there. Yeah? Okay, so let me just zoom out here, guys. So the thing is, what we've done so far is we've taken the 5 master chord shapes, yeah, which is a cowboy chords, which we kind of you maybe associate with playing acoustic. These do work on acoustic as well, guys. So don't think that it's just an electric guitar thing. They do work on acoustic as well. So what we do is we take those, and then those limit us to just 5 chords. Now those 5 chords are pretty damn amazing, because C, A, G, E, and D, you know, you're going to find them in lots of different songs. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we could, you know, if we want the one that is really most like this is C. I've forgotten what chord they're playing now. So it's I'm thinking 2 songs here. Okay. It's no, I'm thinking 2 songs. I'm thinking 2 different songs. Crikey, I'm thinking Hey Joe and Knocking on Heaven's Door at the same time. How can I think of 2 songs at the same time? But Hey Joe, guys. Yes. Oh. I've got it. I found it. I had to play this is the funny thing, guys. I had to play the cowboy chords to get there first, but what I'll do is I'll switch those out. So instead of the C, I'll play the C sus2. Yeah, so do you hear that? So what I'm doing is I'm basically going the C shape, C5 power chord. Hey Joe, where you going with that? Gun in your hand. I could even play it like that. That big E5. Hey Joe, with that gun in your hand. So we've got that going on there. So you, I mean, that's kind of like the song that contains those 5 shapes. It's a great one if you want to just practice that. Yeah, practice those 5 caged power chords. But the thing is, right, that, like I say, you've got five chords there. How many chords are there? There's tons of chords. There's tons of chords. So what we need to do is, after we've dealt with the open power chords, what we need to do then is to lock into the power chords that use frets, the fretted power chords. What we're going to do is we're just going to switch over here back to the handout, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at this one here. We're going to look at the E shape, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to look at that there, specifically that shape there. Like I said, the knight move in chess, how that moves, and we can look at that, and then we're going to transpose it. Let me just show you how I transpose that shape. Let's go back over to guitar. Let's just get a quick sup of some Yorkshire tea in a damn fine circle of thirds mug. Yeah, you can't see it, it's too blurry there. So what we're going to do is, what's happening when I play this E5 power chord, my root note is here on my E string, okay? And what ends up happening is my 5th is here. So I can just play that with one finger and I still get a power chord. Perfectly acceptable. I'm just playing the 2 strings there. Just playing the E and the A string with my pick. Yeah, I'm just playing those 2 there. But if I want, I can roll it over and get an extra root note. Now, what happens is, that's limiting me, is the head note. What if I move the finger up and use the finger as a new head note, this index finger? And what I do is I put my 3rd finger on first, guys. This is the easiest way to do this. Get the 3rd finger on and then put the 1st finger on 2 frets down. You should see it's still the knight move. It goes up, 2 over 1 string. And you can see that you get the power chord like this. Now, because this is an F here, this is the root note. This is an F here. That's going to be an F5 power chord. Okay. Okay, so we've got that there. Now, this then becomes completely transposable into the other frets. So it becomes a movable shape. The fingers stay the same. You've got to decide which one works for you. I'm just going to go back to this F here again. This could be your way of cheating on an F. Now, I was ever so glad when I saw that Brian May from Queen plays his power chords with his pinky. Gives me just easier on my hand stretch when I'm in the lower frets. But as you move up and the frets get smaller, you might want to think about switching your fingers around so you can do this. So we can do that there. Now, or you can do the thing where we just... Remember we had that open E? Big E power chord? Like that. Looked like an E minor shape. Well, if we take that up and we keep those two notes on, I can see I've got my fifth and my root there. That's interesting to know and a good one to know about that. So what we do is we put those three fingers on, and now instead of just using two strings, I'm thickening the sound up by having another root. I'm adding another root, and it makes the chord just a bit more chunky, a bit more weight to it. Now you could use a third finger to hold those two notes down. You can use a pinky to hold those two notes. But that does require a bit more strength and stamina there. So we'll play that there. Now we can move this up, right? And then you can see every time I move up, the first finger is tracking the note on the E string. Okay, we're tracking the note on the E string. Let me just go back to pen and paper here. So, and let's draw out the shape. So what I'm doing, so what I've got here, guys, is I've got my root, I've got my fifth, and I've got a root there. Okay, so that's my basic power chord shape. I'm using that there, and I'm using finger 1 to hold those down there. That's the fingers. Okay, that I'm using there. This, because it's on the E string, we're going to call it an E-shaped power chord. Okay, because it's on there, we'll call it E5. Then, if I do the same thing here, you can see it's exactly the same shape for the A5 power chord. Look at that. So we get the same thing there, and then it becomes a movable idea. Right? Now, I know I've done that there like that in position, but if I was to draw some lines up here and show you that this could be anywhere, then what you'll end up with is the same shape, but I'll put it on some frets now, and you see that this is what the power chord ends up looking like. That's going to be finger 1, and that's going to be whatever combination you want here, yeah? So you can have finger 3, finger 4, you can have finger 3, finger 3, finger 4. It's up to you, yes? I find it difficult. Some people use finger 2 and finger 3 on that. I think that it just looks awkward and wrong. Oh, sorry, I've done that on the wrong string there. Where's my little Tipex mouse? It's on its last legs as this thing. It serves me so well as this. Wrong string there. But let's start on the A string, and I'll put this root note on the A string. Then I get the fifth here, and then I get a root here. So you can see that the same thing has happened. We've got first finger, we get the third and fourth there. We get finger 3, finger 3, and finger 4, finger 4. So these are options of how you want to play it. And like I said, this is an optional note to add as well. You don't necessarily it's not necessarily something that you have to play. Let me just move that a little bit that way. That's cool. Right, so obviously now what we've got to do, I wonder, can I? I've got the chops to do this. Let me just see. Can I do this? Boom! Oh! There we go. Look at me. Fancy schmancy today. So the thing is, if I was to look at this as being an E-shaped one, this is why I'm calling it this. Whatever note I have on my E string, that's going to be the root note of the power chord, okay? And what we can do is we can take any chord and we can substitute it for it. So if it was a G major chord, this would work. If it was a G minor chord, it would work. There would be something missing from the sound. But look at this. So if I'm thinking that's my root note. Where's my little zoomy zoom guy? Oh, hang on, that was the wrong one. Pressed the wrong one there, but look, hopefully that makes sense. So really, what I want to do is I want to get that one on there, those two on there, and then I play that shape there, guys. Look. So that's the shape. You can see that my middle finger there, it's loose. It's not doing anything. You can hang your coat on it. Now what I can do is, if I want this to turn into an A shape, what I do is I drop it down a string. So that's an E shape. And then I'm going to follow this one here. I'm going to drop it down a string. And I'm going to play it as an A shaped power chord. Okay? So now you can see I've got two shapes that I can move. Let's go back to main camera and let's go back to that there. Oh, hang on. That one there. Oh, no. Yeah. No, it's this one here, Ricky. There we go. You were saying. So we've got this. So that there, the root note of the power chord is under there. It's under that index finger there. Okay? Play whatever finger choice you want. So I take it like that. So that's a G5, that's a C5. If I move it up here, it could be a C sharp 5 or a D flat 5. And it's just completely transposable. Oh, is it there? Oh, that's it. These are all E shapes. So I'm going from the 5th to the 3rd to the 2nd to the 1st to the open. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm tracking. I'm going A, G, F sharp, F, E. Right, okay, so that was a great question there, Al, as well. So let me zoom out, because you need to see that there is a couple of different things happening with the muting aspect, and we need to look at this hand here. Yeah, so when I'm playing that, when I'm playing that, I'm making sure that when I strike the strings, I'm only striking the strings that I need to strike. And then when I've produced the sound, if I don't want the chord to ring out, what I do is I put the karate chop part of my hand, this bit here, I put it on the bridge where the strings are emerging from the saddle there. I just put them on there to stop them from ringing. So you could just try that with open strings like this. To just mute them out without it being any chords or anything. But the thing is that muting happens in both hands. So if I've got this chord here, what I'm also doing is I'm muting with the pinky, and I'm muting with the index as well. So when I'm pressing down on these strings, and let's see if I can zoom in on that. I don't know if my zoom is quite zoomy enough, but hopefully what happens is when I want the chord, my fingers are just resting on the chord. They're not engaged. My fingers are engaged in pressing down the frets. When I press down, you can hear the chord engaged there. I didn't strum it, yeah, but I engaged it there. Now when it's not engaged, those strings are all muted out. My first finger's muting a bunch of the strings out, and my pinky's muting out near enough 5 of them there. And I get this scratchy sound, okay? But when I engage the strings, you can see I'm strumming. So you can hear that the chord, when I press down and engage the strings, that's what keeps it quiet. But also a mix of using the karate chop. And hopefully you can see that. And that's a good practice, guys, because it's just like, I kind of think of it like a noise gate. So you're kind of going, just practicing, chopping that sound out with the karate chop part of your hand. But there, did anybody get that? Now you can take any song and you could just keep, you could play, a whole song just using that one shape, so, what was it? That sounds completely different. And the thing is, that's the thing, the difference between the open power chords, which are the caged ones, and these fretted E shapes and A shaped ones. Different to, but at a push, if you went like that, does it sound like the song? Could you sing on top of it? Does this make sense? Can you see it? Sweet home Alabama. You can still sing the song, guys. So just this power chord here, look at how much movement. And the thing is, I think that's interesting, is the movement here is different. What we've got to do with our hands here is, it's a different set of moves. Yes, the movement comes from moving the arm. Yes, this is more finger movement. This is more about arm movement. That's about just changing positions. Okay, does this make sense? So when we do that, that's why they use 3 guitar players. Exactly, Michael. Because you get to fill out the whole sort of frequency range. 1 guitar player up here, 1 down there, 1 playing it on a different kind of guitar in a different clean amp or something like that. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying is you can blag it that way. Now, the problem with doing it all there like that is there's a hell of a lot of movement. We don't want all that movement because you've got to target and you're like, your eyes are moving, your hand-to-eye coordination. You've got to keep an eye on what you're doing. But there is a way around it. So we've done the thing, all right? We've done the thing where we've looked at the power chords, okay? This is like the ultimate power chord guitar lesson, guys. All right, so we've taken the E shape and the A shape there, right? We know that we can now change them into being movable power chords, yeah? These are hopefully that's how you spell movable. Movable power chords. So these are the movable power chords. And the root note is any fret. The root note is any fret. So let's put this over here. So this is where it gets interesting, guys, because what I want to do is I want to show you this, right? Because what we're going to do is we're going to look at this. Now, if you know how the L7 grid works, guys, and this is what I was on about before, the L7 grid, I think of it more as being the major grid, okay? If we're looking for this, and for this to work, we're looking for the tonic of the key, right? The tone of the key on the thick E string. Mixing my cases there. Right? Okay, so with the tonic of the key on the thick E string, which is why we put this here. Look. So here we've got all the notes here, and I've put them in what I consider to be the 12 keys, guys. You know, notice there's no G sharp key, G sharp major. If you try and work that out, you'll find it's a hypothetical key. No A sharp major, hypothetical key. We don't go down that route. We don't make life hard for ourselves. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna show you how this works, right? Let's look at that again. That Sweet Home Alabama for an instance, yeah. What we're gonna do is I need to draw my L7 grid. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do this in the key of G. Now look, this pattern is movable, guys. So I'm selecting this note as my tonic. Yeah, the tonic of the key. All right, I'm gonna tonic of the key. All right, I'm going to put that there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over here. I know that chord 4 goes here. I know that chord 5 goes here because this is the L7 grid, which is the page before. So I'm going to follow that there to find my root notes. Now I know that's a C, and that is going to be a D there. Okay, all right, and then what I'm going to do is I need to find my chord 6. I was thinking about drop D. I was going to do one on drop D at some point, which sounds pretty awesome as well. But there is the grid. Okay, that's the grid for our chords. So remember what we're going to think about is, in this instance, these shapes here, right? So for the G5, this is going to be at the 3rd fret. Let's put this here. We're going to have a root, a 5th, and a root there. I'm going to knock those off. We're going to have the same shape, and this is the thing, guys. Look, because the 3rd is removed. I've got to show me ugly mug just to emphasize the importance of this. The 3rd's not there, so you've only got one shape. It's only one shape. So, and this is the beauty of it. So you can use it for majors and minors. The bar chord. The power chord, right? As I'm just going to emphasize this, and you'll see it. Look, this row here is going to be my 3 shapes that I get for G, A, and the B here. So look at this. So this is going to be at the 5th fret, and this is going to be at the 7th fret. Look, so G, A, B. So chord 1, chord 2, chord 3. All right. So we go here, and it's exactly the same pattern. Root, 5th, root. Okay, perfect. So that's going to be an A5, and this is going to be, we get here, a B5. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that, guys. We've got a new chord in here. We've got a B5 now. All right, so we're not stuck with just 5 shapes. G sharp scale, all sharps 1 natural, and surprise all natural 1. G sharp major. You've got a double sharp in there as well, so this is why I don't like it. Now, same position. Look at this. Chord 1, chord 4. They're both at the 3rd fret. So let me just move this over. Now, because these are on the A string, that's all I need to do is just do the same shape. Look, root, 5th, root. Knock those strings off because we don't need them. Right? I don't know why I put a circle around the 3 there, but hopefully it makes sense. Crikey, come on, Ricky. Right, 3, 5, 7. Right, we're going to get the same thing here. Root, 5th, root. Right, same thing here. So really, we're just recycling the same shape. How easy is that? Then all you need to do is focus on what the shape is and what the root note is. What's the root note underneath your finger? This is why you need to know the names of the notes on your strings, yeah? So you can find all this stuff. But once you've discovered where your tonic lives, then you just move it around, okay? So look at this one. This is going to be C5. This one's going to be D5. And this one's going to be E5. Let me play these. Can I scoot this over here? And I'll do my overhead guitar. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that's the one. That's it. Right, okay, so we can see we've got these here. And do I need to... Hang on. Let me just adjust this a little bit, guys. Get a little bit more of that in there. Right, okay, so look. I'm at the 3rd fret here. So I've got my L7 grid. That's where my majors live. There's where my minors live. But I can play them all as power chords. Now, what's cool about this is, if you look at it, this is why G is so cool, because when you're learning this stuff, yeah, tracking and targeting where your fingers is going to go is a big part of the deal. And why G major is so good is because if you think about it, chords 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they're on the dots. Just follow the dots. A major does the same thing as well. Okay, so this is really, really, really useful to be able to go. So I'm playing these here, right? Now, like I said before, I had a couple of different ways of playing. Yeah, had that there. I had it like this. I had it like this. But this is going to be a little bit more efficient. If I play my D here like this. I play my C here like this. Now I've really nailed that movement down, okay? So here you can see that it's like there's way less movement. Does this make sense? Okay. Now, I mean, that's just one of those things. That's just one of those riffs. Okay. And then let me just see if I can be clever. I'm going to pull up here. And then I'm going to put this up. Boom. Whoosh. Told you I was getting fancy today. Let's have a look at this. So this is just any song, guys. So what you could do is you can take any song. And I thought, all right, well, you know, this is one of the top songs that people like to learn. And you can look at this and you can think to yourself, okay. I'm not sure. You say, what's wrong with the seventh chord? The seventh chord is it's a diminished chord. So really, it's got a flat 5, and you don't want a flat 5 in there, right? You don't want a flat 5 in there as well, because that'll sound a bit odd. Yeah, I'll play it in a minute, but just let us sort this out. So here we've got "I'm Yours," yeah, by Jason Mraz. Okay, and at the top you can see that at the top it says. You can see that it says. Can you see my pointer? Can you see my mouse pointer there? I don't know if you can. Oh no, you can't. Can you see it there? Yeah, hopefully you can. Now if I just move that there, hopefully that's a bit better. Oh dear. All right, there we go. Right, that's done it. So you can see at the top here it says G, D, E minor, C. So what we're going to do is we're going to ignore that the major or the minor, and what we're going to do is we're just going to make them into our power chords. That's all we're going to do. Let me just shrink that back down again. Okay, because we're there, we've got a G. What we've got is we've got a G there. Okay, we've got the D here. We've got an E here. And then we get the C here. So what does that look like when I play it? Let's put it on the old thingamabob. So we're going to go like this. G, D, E minor. Now, some of you might be saying... Right, this is a chord progression. It needs to be larger, please. This one. Okay. Well, I'm just moving that down there. So let's have a look. I'm moving things around. I've got so much space. So hopefully that makes sense there, guys. You can see switching back to that overhead camera. Where did it go? Where has it gone? It's there. I had it somewhere. I seem to have lost my PDF on screen. No. Is that the one? Oh, I seem to have lost my PDF on screen there, guys. Oh, technology. But there you go. Hopefully that makes sense that you can see. Oh, there it is. Ha ha. Oh, and it's swirling around like that. So that's what we've got there. We're going G, playing that there, the 3rd fret. We've got the D, then we've got the E, and then we've got the C, right? So the thing is, I could tame that down now. Let me just roll a bit of that filth off. Yeah. Well, you done, and I know you felt it. I'm trying to read these really small lyrics. Tried to be chill, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Yeah, before the cool done runs out. I'm trying to read these lyrics, but they're quite small up there on the screen. So let me just see if I can stretch them out. There's a payoff between stretching them out and then being able to see the shapes underneath. Can we still see the shapes? I'm not sure we can. Let's have a look. Let's move this thing around a bit there. Maybe that'll do it. Does that do it? We just sneak it in there just a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm just thinking, I'm playing these as power chords. Well, you done me, I bet you felt it. I tried to be chill, but it's so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be doing my bestest. Nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some, but I won't hesitate no more. No E minor, I cannot see. I'm yours. G to D to E minor to C. Hopefully this makes sense. And then do you know what? If I just switch back to main camera, let me just, oh, there it is. If I get rid of that, right? Now what I could do is I could, and I always think there's two ways of doing songs, of covering a song. If you want to, if you're going to do it, yeah, do it as recorded, verbatim. And I think that gets, for me, unless you if you absolutely love the song, then you know, and it's sacred, then don't change it. But if you want to do it your own way, yes, you could. You know, I would say you could rock it up. But I won't hesitate. No. You see what I mean? You could do a heavy metal version. I'm just saying, guys. So that's the way you do it. Now the thing is, I know how far are we in on this lesson. It's been a biggie, hasn't it? Right, let's just sneak something else in. Let's just sneak the last bit of the puzzle in here, guys, because I want it to be very, very complete. And because I don't want to be answering in the comments, yeah, but what about the minor? Because that'll come up, and I think to myself, I could think, oh, I should have just put the minor in. I don't want to be thinking that. So let's do this. So here is the major, guys, and remember, this handout is gonna get scanned. It's for PDF Club members, guys. PDF Club, yeah. If you're in PDF Club, this will be dropping in there tomorrow, yeah, along with a blank version of this, so that you can fill this sheet out, and then you can see what it looks like with all the different keys. Print off 12 of these and then you can work out all 12 keys, guys. You know, that's the way to do it. Work through the stuff. Can't beat a pen and paper, so do that there, okay? All right. So PDF Club. Mrs. Ricky, in fact, actually, Mrs. Ricky, do you have a code, a coupon? She's going to find a coupon and she's going to drop it in there for PDF Club, okay? Right, so let's do that, okay? Right, so let's look at another key. Another key where we want to understand this is going to be the 7/7 grid, and this is going to be our minor key. Yeah, so this is the minor grid. Okay, same thing. Tonic of the key, right, is on the thick E string. Right, the tonic of the key is on the thick E string. Well, do you know what? I'm going to do this in G minor. I'm not going to play a song though. I'm not going to do a song. So we'll just keep it simple. Now, if this is chord 1 in the minor, yeah, I'll put a little Roman numeral there. Then chord 4 in the Roman numeral is going to go there. Chord 5 in the Roman numeral is going to go there. But then what happens is we get chord flat 3 is there. I'm going to put that there. Let me just write it in. Flat 3, we get flat 6, and then we get flat 7 there. So before, I'll use the same colour. I'll use my same colours. Yeah, blue is sad, so it's minors there. Okay, there's your minors. There's the minors, guys. Those are the minor chords. Those would be normally minor chords, but because what we're doing here is we're changing this, we're thinking, right, okay, so this would be G minor. We're doing it at the 3rd fret. We're going to do this. Look at the shapes and tell me what you notice from the major. Right, so this is going to be G5. Hang on. G5. Same thing. So it's the same for major or minor because there's no 3rd to define the tonality. It makes it really, really rigid. The thing that will make it sound minor is the movement between the chords, the distance between the shapes. Have you got a link as well there as well? Mrs. Ricky, she'll put one in there. She'll sort you out there. So we've got 1, 4. All right, so let's look at this. Let's just go over here. I'm going to do this at the same place. We're going to get C5 here, which is root. We've got 5th, and we've got a root here. Same thing, okay? Now what we're going to do is it gets a little bit funky here. I've got to shift these shapes around a wee bit. But what we get is we get chord 5. Let's put this one here. This is going to be a D5 just here. Let's get the root. We get the 5th. We get the root just there. And then, well, I'll put the minors here because really what we've only got 2 power chords on the E string, but we've got 4 power chords on the A string there with that shape. So I'll just split that like that so you can see it a little bit easier. So this is going to be at fret 6, and we're going to get a B flat 5 power chord. We get root, 5th, root. Okay. City Blue for major and United Red for minor. Oh, poor United going through it at the minute. So there. Yeah, so here we've got these shapes here, and then what we've got is this one. This is going to be at 6. I'm going to do this here. Root. I'm going to put this there. Root 5. And this is going to give us an E flat. Okay. 5 power chord. Knock those strings off there, and then this one is going to be at the 8th fret, which the 8th fret. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. So that's the 8th fret, which is going to give us an F5. Okay. So what we've got is got a root, got a 5th, got a root. And let me finish those off. So that's right. I think that's right. Yeah, it looks right. Yes, it is. So look, now that changes everything, because what we've got sound-wise is we've got, if there is no 3rd, what I'm doing is I'm just, right, the 3rd is to do with the chord there, Sean. Yeah, we're using the framework of where the chords live for the key. Yeah, so look here, I'll just show you. You can hear it sounds a bit different. So all I'm doing is I'm mapping out the minor key here. Yes. Yeah. So that's where those guys live. But the thing is, it becomes a really useful way for you to be able to then switch between the two grids. This is an application of the two grids, guys. Look, so you've got your major grid, which is the 7/7 grid, and then you got your minor grid, which is the 7/7 grid, and you got your major grid, which is the L7 grid. That's the easiest way to look at it, and you just put the chord on it. Now this is the simplest chord. Yes, Sean, I could be putting single notes on it. Yeah, so look at that. If I spelt it out, yeah, if I do it as the L7 grid with the first 6 notes, we get do re mi fa, do re mi fa, so la. Yeah, but with the other one, I don't really use solfege for the minor. Yeah, that would be those 3 there. Those would be the notes, okay? So the thing is, all we're doing is just turning them into power chords. Okay? And you can hear, as soon as I've just using that minor framework there, it just sounds a lot tougher, you know, instead of... That sounds happier, yeah? You know, so... So what we could do is we could just take the full chord and then you strip it down to its root note, add a 5 to it, which means you turn it into a power chord, and Bob's your auntie at weekends. Yes. Am I allowed to say that anymore? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Oh dear. So, but you know what I'm saying? Wobbly Bob. That's Wobbly Bob. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, guys, it's like, this is great. If you have the bass playing, could it play the bass could just stick to those. The bass could just stick to those notes. You see, the thing is, the beautiful thing about the grid, you know, it's like I'm in the minor key, and I'll pull stink face like a bass player. Let me just do this. I'll pretend I'm a bass player. Okay, does this make sense? I'm just pretending to be the bass player. Yeah, so I'm just saying. Yeah, that would be the thing that you do if you're recording. Say you've got it in you that you need to write a song. You wanted to write a song. Okay, this has to end. You want to. Demida 5124, thank you very much. So the thing is, if you've got the setup to write a song and you want to write a song, or you want to do a cover, yeah, and you want to do the bass parts, the grids are going to help you guys. The grids are going to be there to help you, and that's what I'm saying. Ambiguity is everybody's friend. Yes. Yes, ambiguity. Yes, and there's this thing, it's like, at the end of the day, we can get really, really precious about it. And I should say that and funny thing is, I was watching some footage of a band I used to be in, and we used to do like this swamp blues version of Sabotage by Beastie Boys. And if you're a Beastie Boys purist, you know what I mean? It's like, that's just like sacrilege. you know, and it's what are you even doing? And a funked up version of I know. What's that song? Bill Withers' song. Bill Withers' most famous song. Not Bob Withers. So we've got all that going on. Yes. Right. Tools here. These are just tools, guys, you know, the power chords. And the thing is, chances are, if you're into your rock and you're into your metal, then what it is you've really got to learn where your power chords go. Now the thing is, right, this Ain't No Sunshine, that's the one. Yeah, Ain't No Sunshine used to do a swampy kind of version of that as well, blues version, right? But it was dirty. It was a dirty blues. So guys, I'm just saying you need to get on this anyhow, and get on with these power chords. But this is a good start. This is a good start. And what I did have planned, and I probably do, I should do an upload, and it is beyond power chords and how we can use our understanding of intervals to actually modify power chords to make some wonderful variations on them. So we're not just stuck with the blocky power chord sound. Yes, does this make sense, Stevie? Yeah. Right. The thing about power chords is they're kind of chunky and they move along and they do what they do, but there's no, if we can, there's a way around it. I'm probably over egging the pudding for the promise of that video, but the thing is, there is another step to take power chords, and that's the next part of the journey. But I think that you need to get this idea here down, guys. So look at this. Yeah, this is going in PDF Club. Going to be uploaded. It'll be uploaded tomorrow. I'm gonna upload it with a blank as well, a blank version of this, so you can write it all out. So that's what will be going on there, guys. So, I think we've done a session. This was Wednesday's guitar lesson from the book. This was lesson 15, page 20 in the book. That's what we did today. We took that basic lesson, we expanded it, we made it magnificent, we crossed it over into other information that's in the book, and other information that you really, really need to learn, so that you can absolutely own songs and play songs really, really easily. Yeah, that's the whole point, guys, playing songs. If you've enjoyed this lesson, let's get some wallops and some likes in here as well, okay? Let's get some get that like wallops, because there's quite a few people on here that haven't walloped the like yet. Let's make that go up. And if you have enjoyed it, make sure you watch this again as well. And like I say, what I'll be doing is I'll be sharing this the PDF for this in PDF Club, which is just there. It'd be lovely to have you over in the Fretboard Fraternity, which is a free community. Just join it. We talk about guitar. No politics. No nothing like that. No silliness. Yeah, we don't get into any of that nonsense. So Fretboard Fraternity there. If you get the digital version of the book, all 80 lessons are in there. And then if you want to get that, then you go to the store there. It's available from Amazon as a paperback. Lulu is a spiral bound, which is that's one I've got. I like the spiral bound. A lot of people like the spiral bound because it fits on the music stand really well, and and it just drops open on your pages like that. There's loads of good stuff in there. 80 lessons in one book. Come on. Yeah. And then so let's be having it. So you can get that there, and you'll find a link to buy it in the store there, guys. But that brings me, I think, just about to the end of this lesson. It's been a good one. I hope you've enjoyed it. And what I'm going to do is, like I do at the end of every one of these guys, is there's no politics at all. No politics at all, Shauna. It's wonderful, isn't it? I do like pictures of dogs going up. I do like that. And that's that's it. You know, I do like pictures of dogs and guitars and places you've been on holiday. In fact, actually, let's do that. Let's have that as a theme. Let's do that, Mrs. Ricky. Can you put a post up and a threat in the fretboard fraternity, and just like see where everybody's been on holiday lately, or where they're going, and they're excited to do that, and if they're taking a guitar with them, yeah, because we could talk about that as well, can't we? The next live video is I'm live on every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, same time, 7 p.m. We take a lesson from the book, we expand upon it, and yes, so that's the one. Is the 7/7 grid in the book? No, it isn't. It isn't in the book. It's in PDF Club, but it is in one of my lessons. I will post that in the fretboard fraternity. It is in one of my lessons on the YouTube channel, and it is available as a free PDF in that as well. Yes. Okay. So what we've got? What have we got? So, yeah. Just like I say at the end of every session, guys, and I'm going to use an outro today, yeah, because I've got a little outro there. What I say is, you play guitar for yourself. Yes, you don't do it for anybody else, not for anybody else, yeah. And you've got to remember, okay, so if you're playing it for yourself, then the goal, what's the target? Is it to play songs? Hopefully today will help you on your journey to playing some songs. By the way, I got that notation, that music there. I got it from ultimateguitar.com. Yeah, it's like, I've got a pro account. It's like $30 for the year. I'm not an affiliate or anything else like that. I'm not affiliated with any of that stuff. But I think it's just worth it. And although I will say that some of the transcriptions are questionable. But mostly good. Go for the notation with the most number of stars and probably the most number of votes on it. Yeah, and you'll get a good start. You know, you might think, oh, that chord doesn't quite fit right or whatever, and that can be a bit of the case. It can be a bit hit and miss, but sometimes you get a absolutely spot on transcription. So are there tabs? Right? Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Because the thing is, it's a peer-to-peer sort of learning sort of system. People, like us, we just put them together, and somebody works it out and put it up. I've put a couple of songs up, but they got taken down because of the artist didn't want people to learn how to play their songs off Ultimate Guitar, which is silly, really. I don't understand that, But there you go. So yes, I would highly recommend it. Yes, indeed, me, myself, and I. If it's a good start, there is some that say Songster's better or whatever. I used Songster a while ago, but I thought there was just more stuff it was more reliable at finding stuff on Ultimate Guitar. So go there, right? Go there. Maybe this is homework. Yeah. The challenge, guys. The challenge. I did it last week, didn't I? Yes. Okay. I did it last week. I said, right, go on to Ultimate Guitar, find a song. One song. Just one. Okay. No matter what the chords are, turn them into power chords. You don't have to play them with distortion on an electric. You can play it on acoustic. Yes. Find that song, play the chords, and then learn the song and play along with it. Yeah. With the power chords, blag the song with power chords, guys. Because the thing is, you'll find that it will serve you. And the reason we play the guitar is to support the voice. It's something for the voice to know where it's meant to go. It's the foundation. So we play the guitar and then we go that. And then you'll realise if you know how the 7/7 grade works, that once you know the pattern where the chords go, if the voice is struggling a bit, you can drop it down a fret or down 2 frets or maybe up a fret and find where your voice wants to sing decently, where your voice, your tessitura is, yes, where you're closest to your speaking voice, where it is, you expend no energy in talking, yeah, like I have done for 2 hours. So that's what I'm saying. Homework. Go to Ultimate Guitar. If you're in the fretboard fraternity as well, yeah, tell us which song you're going to work on. Drop a post in there. Tell us what song you're working on, and if you found the tab and everything else like that, yeah? Share that knowledge in there, guys, because it's really important. If you're having that network of people who will help each other, okay, in there. Right? And then you'll learn a song. And how cool is that? That's what it's all about. That's really why we pick up the guitar in the first place. Yeah? And that's really the most amazing, thing, guys. So, thank you very much for tuning in today. I'm going to love you and leave you and go and see if I can find some football now that Premier League has finished, and I'm sad. So, there we go, guys. Thank you very much for turning up today, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.